Happy birthday, dear Angie. Happy birthday to you. Throughout my 3 years of MS Squared, I would keep many things given to me, either the envelopes written to me by my friends or staff members, or envelopes from my dorm room from the past 3 years I lived there. It could really be anything that was physical that I would keep and make sure to take back home as a form of remembering any moments during my time there. I can easily forget, and I'm horrible at taking pictures, but one thing I love to do is to collect things that remind me of little moments from my time there. In order for me to never forget everything that happened during my time at MS Squared, I decided to make a beaded bracelet, one that will capture my thoughts and attitudes while I was there. This bracelet tells a story, not just the bracelet when it's finished, but the making of it tells a more important one. This bracelet is the story of our shared experience as students of MS Squared, a mix of several different beads and people, all having different colors and backgrounds, but are all brought together to tell a story. My story starts before my first year because my sister went years before me. During her time there, she made lifelong friends, visited her future college, and came back home a new person. These are the promises that she told me MS Squared had to give me. Coming into my first year, the faculty promised that I would have an amazing experience, making friends, learning math and science, and getting along with everyone there. That amazing experience wasn't so amazing when it turned out that it wasn't just going to be us MS Squared kids that owned over for those 5 weeks. These kids, unlike us, had money, had privilege, and had nerve. They were outwardly racist to us MS Squared kids, and that would break the promise of getting along with everyone here. Working on the bracelet, the string breaks. It broke from memories of people crying, sharing their stories of what had happened to them. But I grabbed more string, retied it to the loom, and kept on working. Just like us, we kept on going and became a bonded group. It felt like faculty was ignoring us, but it just created more MS Squared pride, and that's how I finished my first year. While at Andover, I fell in love with the bird sanctuary, the little trail inside the campus. Every time I walked there, I would collect rocks, not for any particular reason, besides the fact that I all thought they were beautiful. Soon enough, my friends would give me these rocks, and I have kept them ever since. Even though the bracelet might look like a splatter of color, look deeper and you'll find a symbol of loss but resilience for a group of people. Into my second year, the admin had promised us that what had happened last year would never happen again. My time back was better as I got to see my friends again. So quickly do we click back into place after not seeing each other for a year. The beads fitting in perfectly on the loom as we fit perfect into each other's lives again for the next 5 weeks. One of my favorite parts of MS Squared is cultural sharing, a play made by students grouped by 3 identities to share a story not only resonates with individual groups, but with everyone watching as well. Throughout rehearsals, no, throughout every single moment of those 5 weeks, it felt as if there was a magnifying glass over the MS Squared kids. They bothered us over rules that they let the other programs slide, and they worked so hard to be unracist that it just turned around back into racism. And that's the promise that they broke for us my second year. After my second year, I was chosen to be one of the cultural leaders for the next Latina cultural sharing. As a gift, they gave me a placard to represent my directing for the play, and I keep it on my shelf to remind myself of the importance of my cultural wealth. As the bracelet's halfway finished, it became clear what the message is: unity, solidarity, and identity. Into my third year, our new director had promised us that he would be a good leader and keep us with MS Squared traditions. My final year was ruled by cultural sharing as we put so much love into it as leaders, and once it was over, it felt bittersweet, as one of the reasons that I would come back every year was for cultural sharing. But once it was over, it was now time for college visits. Planning and taking steps into what college we will be attending became the promise from college counseling, one of the few promises that was actually made. With everything going on in my final year, days felt like weeks, but weeks felt like days. I created stronger bonds with the friends I made since my first year, and even spent time with every student, either individually or in small groups. I became really close with my little sibling, which was one of my main goals, and it truly felt like a big extended family I was a part of. That was until the day of our graduation, where 3 students, 2 from my year and 1 a year before, were kicked out from the program. What they had done to get kicked out was tiny compared to the work they put into for the past 2 to 3 years. As MS Squared students, our director failed in keeping our family safe. In our graduation, we were left with tears, tears of sadness, tears of broken trust, and tears of loss. Picking up tarot reading made sense while being at Andover. So much emotions, so many questions, and people needed answers. Tarot is a game of reading a person, knowing what they want to hear and what they need to hear. Tarot was our therapy at MS Squared. On top of the crafts I made, many other crafts were made as well. Whether crocheted, beaded, or knotted, these were just a few of the handmade gifts I received while at MS Squared. What symbol can really represent a group of people without missing a few of them? Culture is something we are born with, something that this bracelet is full of, and all cultures have an origin. Now that I'm an alumni from MS Squared, I can say that what I experienced was a form of psychological trauma, corralled into a private school with around 100 minority students, all there with an original purpose of learning advanced math and science classes. On top of the workload, we had to become a part of the community, each of us contributing our bead, our identity to the loom. But once it's over, and the 3 years have passed, we look back at the bracelet, back at our bead, and see smiles, sadness, love, and even hate. Hate for the administration that wanted so hard to catch us in a wrong. Hate that once those 3 years are over, there's nothing that would come close to MS Squared. There are so many broken promises at MS Squared, but we didn't stop coming back. We returned each year knowing that even with all the directed hate towards us, that we were safe. As a group, because MS Squared is a community, a family, we look after each other, and that's one promise that I've made of MS Squared. Even though the image is finished, we can still see the imperfections. All the times the string broke or snagged just for another one to replace it. The vomit of colors surrounding the symbols showing chaos and hurriedness of being at MS Squared. Each symbol represents a group, one of the 3 groups at MS Squared. Native American, African American, and Latina American. All above is a heart. My love for the people, my love for the community, and our love for each other. This isn't a perfect bracelet, but it's a story to tell. My story and everyone's story is not the same cut and concise shared details of events. It's vulnerability and its identity. Our stories are works of art, and this is the culmination of my story.